welcome along to the final episode of Season 6 of this FM20 story, A Wandering Dork with me, Daniel. We're back for the final game of the season away at Notts County, who have already guaranteed themselves a playoff space. They can't get in the top two, so they're going to be partying, probably resting some people for the playoffs. And more importantly, as you can see, we start with the big news. We're in 14th place. We're well safe. We're doing a brilliant job. 11 points clear of Bradford, who have still got a chance to stay up today. But they're going to need a massive swing against Peterborough, so it's very unlikely. Bradford City probably going down as the last side. But other than that, we've been flying up the table recently. We won 4 of the last 7 since you were with me last, and that continues a brilliant run over the last few months, which allows us to relax going into today's game. So we'll play this game, we'll go for our end of season review, just have a look at some of the stats of our players. Then on Wednesday we'll be back with our end of season review. We'll go and look at a couple of certain areas within the club, and on Friday we'll be back with our transfer special at the start of season 7. So another very big week coming up in this series. In the meantime, we've just started season 5 of our other series, The Head Coach, where our director of football's had a busy transfer window, so make sure you go and catch up with that one if you haven't seen it yet. And a massive thank you to everyone who's supporting both series. If you're enjoying it still, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I really do appreciate your continued support. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily FM20 content from both of these long-term FM20 stories. But let's go and have a look at the schedule to see how we've been getting on since the last episode. Lots of big news on and off the pitch. We've also got a youth intake to look at, unfortunately just as bad as most of the rest of them. Though we have got a player with 2.5-star potential, I think just about the highest we've had so far. So you were with me last time as we played Sheffield Wednesday and Plymouth. A mixed bag in terms of away results there. We finished off March in style, a home win against Chesterfield, Jordan Johnson the youngster getting a late winner for us, and an emphatic 4-1 win away at Northampton. John King with a brace, Humphreys Durney with a goal, Stephen Moles pitching in with one as well. Before a 1-0 defeat at home to Bristol Rovers, Dale Kearns getting that one for the away side. Then a 2-0 win at home to Blackpool, Matthew Smith with an early goal, Ryan Broom with a late one. Matthew Smith unfortunately out long term now. Looks like that will have been his last games for the club. It doesn't look like he's going to be signing on for us, and unfortunately he's going to be out until the end of the summer. But then away to Bradford, we lost 4-2. It was a really disappointing display, if I'm being honest. Tom Cook picked up an injury in that one, though he is just back to full fitness today. And then at home to Wigan, we lost 3-1. Matthew Smith got injured before this one, so Bolger made his first start for the club. Stephen Moles getting a goal from the penalty spot, but we lost it late on with 2 poor goals. Then at home to Doncaster last time out, we won 1-0 thanks to John King's early goal. He reaches 21 for the season now in 44 starts, and big news to come from him as well. You can see he's signed on for next season now. His contract goes to the end of next year, and he's not the only one, I'm pleased to say. The other 2 loan players that applies to, Jack Walker, the centre-half, who's been brilliant for us this year, by far the standout of our central defenders, and Joe Thompson, the exciting young left-winger. Not had the best year, but he's starting to come to form. Still 4 goals and 6 assists, and with better players up there with him, I think he'll be an absolute superstar. So all 3 of those here for another season. A few of our current players signed new deals too. So the likes of James Simpson's here for another 3 years. We've got a couple of others. Harry Campbell's on for next season, as are a few of the others, as you can see. And there's only actually about 5 or 6 out of contract at the end of this year. In fact, there's 7 in total. Just Sherrin we'd like to keep. The rest of them are not really too fussed about. So all of that bodes very well for us. We'll just go and make sure there were no new loan players going out, because I can't remember if we had any more. We didn't, so no more players left the club. We've already started our basis for next summer. We've got the trial list. We were looking at the release list at the start of April, the way we always do at this level, and it didn't look like there were too many good ones, but our director of football have found 3 or 4, and the scouts in fact had actually found another couple. Now most of them were absolutely woeful. We've got 3 players that we think are going to be long-term superstars. They probably haven't got the current ability anymore. Most of the ones we got before were sort of at National League level, and they've worked their way up. These ones are going to start with a lower current ability, but they've still got that same high potential, and we've got to look after them and get them through the leagues, and you can see there could be 3 or 4 of them joining us. So an exciting summer to look at. We'll definitely have a lot of transfers in the special at the start of next season, and we also had the one for Willie Bowie pre-agreed, and we're trying to get another one from Chelsea as we speak. But into today's game, let's go and have a look at the youth intake quickly, just to see which ones have come into the club. 2 that are going to be released. Most of them have been signed on though, and there is one player that stands out from this intake, and that player is Andre Monshaju. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. 1-star ability, 2.5 potential, a left back and left midfielder. He's not great, but physically he's okay. Mentally he's pretty strong for this young age, and physically he's not the best player. Really poor for a fullback, can't mark, can't tackle, but he is going to probably make it as a non-league player, so someone we might finally guide into full-time football. But we'll keep a little eye on him. I don't expect too much to come from it. We were talking about naming regens after people who watch the series. I'm glad I didn't do that this year, because they have been absolutely awful across the board at Dorking, and it would have been a waste of everyone's time, I think. But let's go and face Notts County. They're going to be heavy favourites. They finished third. They've won 4 in a row. I just pinned my hopes on them resting people for the playoffs today. Of course, they came up with us from League 2 last year. We've had very different fortunes this season, but you can see part of the reason why. They're getting 15,000 through the gate at home, whereas we're ground sharing with Crawley, not getting many people there at all, and not bringing in any of the finance from it either, so you can understand why things are a bit harder for us. But 14th place, we're comfortably safe. We're going to finish at the lowest 17th. At the highest, we could go up to 13th place and just miss out on that top half finish. That's a really good sign for us moving forward. Though the club vision does really worry me. I've got to show you that very quickly. They're expecting next season for us to work towards recording a top half finish in League One. Now, I don't know where they've got that expectation from, but that seems a little bit too soon for me. We're going to have a really big summer to achieve that, and hopefully we won't have a repeat of those transfer antics. Now let's go and have a look at the 11 we've picked today. Just one change to bring in a youngster on the right back area. That's going to be Simpson coming in for Cotter. He'll drop to the bench after a decent run, and Tom Cook in for Ryan Broom on the right wing. Another younger player getting his chance. But aside from that, it's a pretty familiar team and squad. So we've got Harry Campbell in goal, Matt Smith and James Simpson the fullbacks, with Walker and Brown at centre half, Johnson, Moles and Durnley the midfield 3, and then Tom Cook and Joe Thompson on the wings, with John King on his own up front. I've just changed Joe Thompson to his preferred winger duty on support, so let's see if that makes a difference to his performance today, and we'll get into it with the perfect counter-attacking display plan and see if we can get a shock result at Notts County. They're playing a 4-4-2, so we should get on top in the middle really. Still got good players like Regan Booty there, and a few regens looking like the stars of their side as well, including a good young goalkeeper too. So it's going to be a really tough test for us to get a result, but let's ask the lads to do it for the fans. Either way, most of the lads are motivated. The fans are on side because we've got up to 14th place. The board aren't worrying about our job anymore. When we were hovering around the relegation zone earlier this year, we know it was all the rage, but as we get into it, Notts County have got an early chance, and this game has got the potential to go drastically wrong. Atete the fullback to Campbell, into Donnelly, down to Southgate. Booty shoots, is a good save. He's a star of the series from second yellow card actually. He's playing with Notts County, and Regan Booty's taking him up the leagues, but this one's headed in away from the corner, and it's gone back out to the right hand side to John. He tries to cross it, but it's blocked early on. Notts County had 6 shots in the first 5 minutes, so the counter-attacking not working quite as well, and we'll try and edge up to a balanced mentality. Here's Daly Campbell to right. None of those chances really been clear though, as they're forced back to halfway. Cresswell starts again. He switches it over to the left flank. Here's Regan Booty. We've mentioned him a few times. Back to Cochrane, who delivers into Atete, who heads just wide, but another good chance goes begging. Notts County dominant early on, and it's just going to be a question of how long we can hold them off at this point. Just over 15 gone. We have managed 3 shots now, though we haven't seen any of them on camera. Here's Moles to Johnson, though we're keeping it in the middle. A chance to come forward. Out to Joe Thompson, the winger. Can he get the delivery in? We've kept him on for another year just for that. His clearance away is only as far as Tom Cook. Back in towards King, who heads just wide. A really good chance that goes begging. And with 20 gone, we've had our first good chance, but unfortunately it's still 0-0. Throwing on the right. We're starting to get a foothold in this one now. Stefan Moles getting it from the throw-in from Simpson. Delivers to the front post. Thompson tries to block the clearance. Falls to Johnson, who finds Stefan Moles. We're not yet creating something clear-cut, though Thompson tries to get on the end of that, though it looks like Notts County have got it away, and a chance to get a really good counter on. Into Donnelly, he's in one-on-one. Good save, Harry Campbell to tip it behind, and again on the counter, Notts County look brilliant, but it's still 0-0 with just 25 minutes on the clock. Regan Booty with a corner. Cresswell heads in just wide of the post. It remains 0-0, but we're hanging on by a thread, but it's still goalless here with half an hour gone. Harry Campbell with the ball in goal. We said this might be a shorter episode with just one game. I've got my doubts after this performance. Notts County getting plenty of chances, but we will have the end of season review as Regan Booty's in again, shoots but it's straight at Campbell, and although they're getting a lot of chances, not many of them are great ones, and we tend to the break, it's still 0-0 as Matt Smith starts with a through ball in the attacking third. In towards King, hits the post and cleared. Roy clears his way as halfway, and now Donnelly on the counter with a chance to go forward. James Simpson beaten too easily. Donnelly into the box. Simpson with a good recovery challenge. Hacks it away into the Meadow Lane stand, and we tend to the break is somehow still goalless here. Half time 0-0, Notts County on top, but we've still had our threat on the break. I'm not too disappointed. We're going to tell the lads to keep keep it up, most of them delighted, and if we could draw on the final day I'd be a very proud man. Well, an hour gone, it's been a very quiet second half as Notts County deliver from another set piece. A lot of their threats actually been from set pieces in this game, and again they've got another chance with a corner. Pinnock delivers into a Tete who hits the bar. Great save by Campbell and is hacked away by Brown, but Notts County again the danger in set pieces as Pinnock cuts it back to Cresswell. He's got a chance on the edge of the box, crosses in but Brown heads away, only falls for Wright who finds Booty. He's got a chance to shoot just wide, and it thankfully is still 0-0 here at Meadow Lane. We're managing to hang on with 25 left. Fox with a goal kick for Notts County. To the right wing, Cook gets ahead on it. Only falls for Cochrane though. He goes long. Walker intercepts for Moles. And can we counter now with Johnson and Humphreys Durnley as we surge over halfway on the break. Back to Johnson again. He's got 2 or 3 ahead of him, but can he find either of them? Again forced backwards to Simpson, and it doesn't look like our attack's going anywhere. Here's Moles over the top though. King's in 1-on-1. The keeper comes, doesn't get there. John King puts away, but the offside flag's up. I'm a little bit doubtful there. I'm not sure it was, but unfortunately the decision's been given, and as it stands it's still 0-0 here. 20 to go. We will make some changes. Cook just back from injury, so we'll give him a rest. Broom's going to come on for him, and then Jordan Johnson's not had the best game in the middle, so Bolger will come on again as the ball winning midfielder just to give a bit more to support to Simpson the right back, and then Matt Smith the nervous left back. He'll be replaced by the centre half Sherrin. Kieran Brown will go out to left back, and we'll change a back forward that's keeping a clean sheet. Clever tactical management that. A big thumbs up if we concede a goal, but it's 0-0 here with 15 to go, and we're back with a corner via Thompson. Into King, hits his man, deflects on the second one wide of the post. How did that not go in? The keeper was already down from the first shot. It hit the defender and somehow bobbled wide. Thompson with a chance to deliver from the other side, and we're starting to create chances here, Getting my words in a jumble, but Walker's got the ball on the edge of the box. His cross is blocked though, and that ends quickly, and it's still 0-0 with 10 remaining. Well, just 1 minute plus stoppage time to go. We're going to start time wasting. I know it's not in the ethics of a final game of the season where there's nothing riding on it, but a 0-0 draw away at Notts County, who will be knocked down to 4th if they draw. A wonderful result it could be. We'll go very defensive, but it looks like we've done it. A really solid performance to end the season, and a rare clean sheet, something to celebrate as a manager. We even had a fair share of attacks in the second half. We'll tell the lads they did brilliantly. It's a fantastic result. Maybe not a glittering performance, but a wonderful way to finish the season. It keeps us in 14th place. We finish above the likes of Ipswich, Blackpool, Peterborough, big sides at this level, and Bradford City won, but they still go down. They actually play Peterborough on the final day, so a 3 or 4 goal win would have swung it for them, but they only won 1-0, and as a result they go down to League 2. They're playing alongside the likes of Northampton, Southend and Plymouth, again bigger sides than us getting relegated, and we've achieved wonderful amounts of success this year. To finish 14th is absolutely unbelievable. Let's go and see what the media said about the game. We've got to be proud of that performance. We hold Notts County. Regan Booty was man of the match, a wonderful player even at League 1 level, and my beloved Luton Town win League 1 too, so in the Championship next year maybe they can loan us someone special. And Gillingham boss Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's watching at Meadow Lane, looking at our keeper Harry Campbell nonetheless, so interesting if they put in a bid for him. He's a good keeper, but we take 50 or 60 grand, just keep those wages flowing. The finance is not looking great at the club, so probably 1 or 2 big sales to come again this summer. But a good season all in all. Despite our disappointment in January, we've managed to get ourselves up to 14th place. We've secured the services of 3 of the keen loan players, so we're going to be in a good position to start next season. So it just leaves us to look at the dynamics in the squad to see which players have been the standouts this year. So in terms of our dressing room atmosphere, it's back up to average with a couple of good results. The managerial support remains excellent, and the team cohesion's good with plenty of changes to come in the summer. I'd imagine that'll probably drop by the next episode. But if we go and finish on the squad screen, just so we can have a look at who the stars have been this year, again not much outlay on the wage bill, which is great, and we managed to survive despite that, despite having by far the lowest wage bill in the league. But we start in order of appearances. Let's get the unavailable players back in just so we can see Matthew Smith, and there's at the top one that's going to be coming back. Kane Williams played 48 games for Fylde this year, and he's going to be one of our 4 centre halves next season. Another one like Tom Cook that we're trying to push towards the first team, and none of our centre halves have really cut it this season, so alongside Walker the place is up for grabs next year, and maybe Kane Williams will be the man to take it. Next of course in terms of appearances, Harry Campbell, then John King, both of them have been excellent. Moles in the 40s, then Thompson and Walker in the high 30s, Matthew Smith and Matt Smith both up there too, and that's despite the problems we had with the loan players later in the season. They both still managed a number of appearances. Tom Cook made a lot of appearances, didn't really set the world alight. Barry Cotter was a really good addition when he came in, and Humphreys Durnley's had a good impact as well. One of the better average ratings in the squad this year actually. If we look at goals, there's only one man on top, John King with 22 in all competitions. competitions, 21 of those in League One as well, a really standout performer. Next for us is Stefan Moles on 7, a lot of those from the spot, so you can't really count that. And then Dorian Broom with 5 goals from his appearances, only 19 starts, so that's not too bad. We have got to look at the likes of McGinty and Presley, who have both scored goals at a lower level, and Manny Cook actually a third that counts in that regard, but all of those at much lower levels, and they've not set the world alight with 20 or 25, so I don't think that any of them are going to be standouts next season. We could have a lot of those players being sold on in the summer. Jeremiah Watson did a brilliant job out on loan though. He's someone we may consider when he comes back. We've just got to see how much he develops over the summer, but potentially an exciting player for us moving forward. Then in terms of assists, the standout's a player out on loan again. Max Dodd playing in the National League for Scunthorpe. He's doing a really good job for them. They finished up in the playoffs. Their season's not over. And look, they've still got Olamola, the side that we're managing in the head coach. Olamola's still there for us in that one, as is Lewis Butroyd, the skipper there. So Scunthorpe, what are they doing in the National League with those players? But Max Dodd's had a really good season, and he may be one that can get in the squad next season. But for us, top of the assist list, John King with 7, Humphreys Durnley up there as well, Joe Thompson with 6 off the left, Stefan Moles with 5, the 2 right wingers getting 4 apiece, and Parkhouse had a really good start to the season, but he didn't really contribute after that, and he ended up dropping out of favour. He'll probably get sold on in the summer in truth. He's wanted by Morecambe, so we'll take advantage of that, and he'll probably be on his road next season. Don't forget we started the year with a front 2 in our formation. We've only got 1 up front now, so we can't really fit them all in. But if we look at the average rating for the season, 5 players with a rating above a 7, 3 of them regulars, Matthew Smith, Stefan Moles and John King. Moles has been one of the players of the season for me, really developed on and off the pitch, and at 26 finally realising his potential, but is he good enough to beat the other 2 in the end of season poll? So in the next episode we'll have a player of the season vote. Make sure you come and join us along for that one. We've got a few other notable mentions. Sam Sherring got a really good average rating, Humphreys Durnley in the 6.9s, Barry Cotter not far off either, and Jack Walker the best of the regular centre-halves. They really contributed to us being a bit more solid later in the year. A few disappointments at the bottom that we'll look at. Harry Campbell didn't have the best season, Tom Cook was pretty poor as well, and most of them were reserve players that we're not going to continue playing. James Simpson's definitely going to be back up next year. We might even loan him out to get some football, as we've got a few options at that position of the squad, the likes of Barry Cotter who's still here, and a few of those coming back from loan as well. So we've got some options in the squad at right back, so Simpson could be better served by going on loan. But we'll talk in more detail about our squad plans in the next episode, take a detailed look at our summer and focus on some certain areas off the pitch. Probably going to be boardroom related after this season, a really catastrophic January transfer window, but we have kept our job and done well, kept Dorking Wanderers comfortably in League One in the end, and a really good spell towards the end of the season has got us looking comfortable in 14th place, but how we're going to finish in the top half next year I don't know. It seems a really unrealistic expectation. But if you did enjoy this episode and season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. A really solid display on the final day at Notts County too. I'm really proud of the lads and their performances this year, and we've got most of them to look forward to next season too. And our focus now is on getting them some help for next year, so they can try and finish in the top half, but I don't know if it's possible. And our job could be in jeopardy yet again next time round, but I don't know how we're expected to finish in the top 12. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from my 2 long-term stories. We'll be back as usual with the head coach tomorrow, then our end of season 6 review with Dorking in 2 days time. We'll have a look at all the other English competitions as well, see how the leagues have been going, any surprises. We'll do a yearly catch up with Nottingham Forest, who seem to be the entertainers of this save. And then on Friday we'll have our big transfer special from this one. Plenty of action to come this summer, I'm sure. Finally, I'm part of a podcast that does matchday vlogs and interviews, and you can see the link to the matchday vlogs playlist in the eye above. A massive thank you to everyone who supported all the recent ones. I really can't thank you enough for the numbers on them. They've been unbelievably supported and they seem to have gone down really well, so thank you to everyone who's given them a try. If you haven't already, please do check them out. Let us know what you think. We're really interested to get your feedback at this early stage. But a massive thanks again for your support on that channel too. It really is greatly appreciated. But a big thanks for watching this one and following along for another season. I really do appreciate your support on the channel, and I hope to see you next time for our end of season review before a big transfer special coming up on Friday.